Hello, this is Brahim Selassie, the Orthodox Catholic One, Golden Sword Apologetics. This video will be called, Is the Hebrew Bible Anti-Semitic? Now, first of all, counter-missionaries like to accuse the New Testament and Christianity in general, but particularly the New Testament's writings, of being anti-Semitic. For the reason that it has contents where Jews call other Jews names along the lines of stubborn, hard-hearted sons of Satan, sons of the devil, harlots, and stiff-necked, and so on and so on. But does this necessarily make the New Testament anti-Semitic? Let's take a look at the Hebrew Bible and see the criticism and the name calling it calls the Jewish people. Let's start off with Moses, the anti-Semitic Moses. Moses calls the Jews stubborn, rebellious, and corrupt. Moses, referring to the Levites specifically. Moses commanded the Levites that bore the ark of the covenant of the Lord, saying, For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord, and how much more after my death? Ye will in any wise deal corruptly. That's Deuteronomy 31, verses 25, 27, and 29. Referring to the Levites. That's one of the 12 tribes. Now, God. Is God an anti-Semite? God calls Israel stubborn and uncircumcised of heart. Similar to what the New Testament says. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. The fact that he has to tell them that means they have to accomplish that. Now, even worse, God calls Israel and Judah, the two kingdoms, whores. And then he talks about divorcing them. This is in Jeremiah 3:6, verse 8. It says, And the Lord said unto me in the days of Josiah the king, Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel did? She went up upon every mountain and under every leafy tree, and there played the harlot. And then I saw, when for as much as backsliding Israel had committed adultery, I put her away and gave her a bill of divorcement, that yet treacherous Judah, her sister, feared not, and she also went and played the harlot. So, just to recap, so far God has called them uncircumcised, stiff-necked, whores, adulterers. But he goes to the ultimate step in the Torah, the Shemot, Exodus 32, verse 9 through 10. God says, And the Lord said to Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is stiff-necked. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and I may consume them, and that I will make of thee, referring to Moses, a great nation. So God is, you can read the context of it. It's talking about the golden calf. He goes on to tell Moses, I'll make you a great nation. And Moses says, no, think about the Egyptians. I mean, if you kill all of us, except for me, I mean, the Egyptians will be like, oh, look, he saved them, and then he killed them all. That'll look bad. But anyway, he's advocating the complete, not advocate, I should say, he's threatening the complete annihilation of the Jews except for one person's family. So that sounds pretty anti-Semitic to me. This is much more than, there's much more found in the Hebrew Bible. But wouldn't this seem a lot more anti-Semitic if it were in some other Bible? If this were in the New Testament or the Quran, wouldn't they be especially mad? It would appear that the most anti-Semitic literature around, if we were to accept the counter-missionaries' argument that criticizing Jews and so on is necessarily anti-Semitism, it seems that the most anti-Semitic literature around is their own Bible. What can be worse than God calling the Jewish community, for instance in Jeremiah, whores, or when God says in the Torah that perhaps he should kill all the Jews? So if it should be conceded the New Testament is a work of anti-Semitism because of the pejoratives used towards the Jews by other Jews, then by that same standard it should be admitted that the Hebrew Bible and the Torah are by far more anti-Semitic, and they should be categorized as the foremost books on hatred of Jews. Anyway, This is Burhain Selassie, the Orthodox Catholic.